Hello crochet friends, welcome back. We're working on our joy pillow and I've got my panel done. I've done 40 rows altogether to fit my pillow piece there, my insert there. And I'm so excited. It's beautiful. I love this pattern. It's so nice and thick that you won't see through your project, you know, to see that middle form very well at all. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. So I love it. I'm super excited about it. I hope you are too. And it's the same on both sides because we've been turning each time, right? So it's just so pretty. So let's start the border today. Don't forget you need 2 panels for your pillow, right? So I've got my other panel done. So I'm working this one with you guys. And it took a little bit of time, I'm going to admit. I mean, 40 rows altogether. That was a lot of work. So please take your time, make it beautiful, you know, just don't rush and enjoy the process. It's a hobby. We want to enjoy it. So we're going to start with edging. Edging is not hard. It's going to be all single crochets, and it's going to be the part that we attach the 2 pieces together with. So it's a lot easier when we have single crochets around the whole thing, okay? And it makes it look a little more finished. So we are going to work down the side. So this is the left side of the panel, and we're starting at the top right where I ended with my last row, okay? I haven't fastened off or anything. I'm still there. In the corners, we want to do 3 single crochets in each corner, because to get around the corner, we don't want it to be pulled and cinched tight. We want it to work around. So enter that first space there in the corner, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 for a single crochet. Enter again, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 2 for a single crochet. Third time, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through 2. So see how it naturally brought itself right down the side there, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to work along here, and if you remember, we didn't have stitches, did we? So I found when I worked up the other panel, if I worked a single crochet in what I call the dip, see how it goes down here? If I worked in this space right here, right as the dip is, and then the chain, which was the side here, it seemed to make a good pattern. So let me show you. So I went in the dip and I gave it a single crochet. And then I went in the chain space here and gave it a single crochet. And then the next dip area, and then the chain space. Let me show you how it looks. The stitches are even, and that's what we want. We want even stitches. Nothing is pulling too much. So that seemed to work pretty well. Now, if you find other spots that work better for you, sure, go right ahead. But what we want to do is make it even on both sides. So whatever you do on this side, try to write it down or remember it, and do the same on the other side, okay? That way they look consistent. Your work looks, you know, even. You want even. And you want these stitches to be nice and smooth. See how that corner with the 3 single crochet got us working right into this, didn't it? So keep going along. We want to do this all the way down our work. Like I said, it's all single crochets, which is faster, right? It's a little bit faster. It's nice. It won't use as much yarn, of course, so that's also a plus. So, you know, you're just going to keep going along and go around this whole project. When we get down to the corner down here, we're going to do 3 single crochets again, okay? So keep working your way all the way down to your corner, and I'll meet you there. Here we go. Okay, I have made it down to my corner. So I'm going to go in this little space that looks as close to the corner as possible, right here. And I'm going to give that 3 single crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Now we are working the other side. This is the bottom. This was the very beginning where you did your foundation chain. So it's a little little bit different, isn't it? So when I did the other one, I had 64 stitches until I made it to the other corner where I did my 3 single crochets. And this is what I had done. So we have kind of the little bubbly shape here. That's what I'm gonna call this. See, it's like a little bubbly and then the space in between. So I went in the top of the bubbly space. That's the only way I can explain it. And I did a single crochet there. And then I went in this space here and did a single crochet. Then the top of the bubbly and then in the space. And I did that all the way across. It ended up being 64 stitches. I had counted on the other one just so I could let you know what it was. So I think that made them spaced nicely. So I'm gonna stop here and show you. See, nice and spaced. And then the top with the stitch work ended up being the same. So I thought that would help to coordinate the number. So that was my thought on that. So I just kind of went along and I just single crocheted in this foundation chain area, which can be, you know, sometimes a little different, right? It's not a stitch. It's kind of odd, I know. So just take your time and go across, and hopefully you know what I mean when I'm talking about the bubbly space. I don't have any other words to describe that. But you know, where it started making the pattern itself. So maybe that helps. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna keep going across the bottom here, and then we're gonna work up the other side in the same fashion, and then we're going to go across the top. So I'll meet you before we start the top, but this bottom is the same as what we're doing right now, and then the side was the same as the other side. Just don't forget in that next corner there to do your 3 single crochets. Okay, so keep working along. I'll meet you when we get to the top portion. Here we go. Okay, I am at that corner before we go across the top to go back to our very beginning. And I'm going to give it the 3 single crochets just like we did in the last corner. That's 2, and this is 3. Okay, and then we're going to go across and we're going to single crochet in each of these stitches. Yay, we have stitches. Isn't that lovely? After all that work, right? So you're just going to single crochet all the way across. It did match up, like I said, and did 64 as it did at the bottom of with the foundation chain. So I mean, it may or may not for you depending on your spacing at the bottom, but it will probably be pretty close because it's the same width. So I think, how did you do going back up the other side? I think by knowing where you place the stitches on one side, it kind of helps the other side. So I'm hoping it did for you also. But yeah, it's going around a project like this, putting a border on it, is helpful that it makes it so nice and neat, but sometimes it can be a little tricky to find a space to put a stitch in. So just please take your time and locate all your stitches, you know, or spaces that you're trying to work, and just make sure that they're not too spread apart, that you don't have really long stitches and then really short stitches. It's just about trying to make those stitches all look the same, okay? So we're gonna go right across here and single crochet each of these along until we get to that last corner. Now, if you remember, we started out with the 3 single crochets, right? So we need to join up down there, okay? So if you've not chosen your color, that will be next, your color to write the joy on your project. So if you want to pick out that color, whatever you like, that'll look nice. So we're just moving right along here. So keep going until we get close to that end there, and I'll meet up with you. Here we go. Okay, I am getting near the end here. So I'm going to do my last single crochet right here, and then we want to go into this first one and give it a slip stitch. So enter, yarn over and pull through, and pull through again for a slip stitch. When we tuck this in, it will lay nice and flat and go around its corner, okay? So don't worry about that, but you need to join there with a slip stitch, and then we can cut this off. We can cut this off. We're all done with this panel, okay? So beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. I know it's a lot of work. If you are still going, please keep going. Make it nice and beautiful. All right, I'm gonna give it a little measure here. Mine is measuring right now 19 inches across, 19, and I don't know if I can get it flat this way. Let me see. Oh, it's like maybe, I'm trying, oh, it's not flat. 12 and a half, 12 and a half this way. Oh, I'm sorry, I knew I was gonna hit that camera. 12 and a half from top to bottom, 19 for the width. But it depends on your pillow insert, but with the 40, that's what it ended up working up for me, the 40 rows. So if you're working, keep going, keep going. Do this for both panels, okay? But it does give it such a nice finished look, doesn't it? And it will be a lot easier to connect your two panels this way now that you've got all these nice stitches to work with. All right, so that is the edge. I will meet up with you next time. We're gonna start working on the lettering. I'll see you then. Thank you and have a joyful day.